Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Wade, Partnership Manager here at Bitwave. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Justin Macari, CPA, business owner and founder of MacTax, which has a unique niche of actually supporting Web3 clients. Justin, thank you again for joining us. How are you today? And I would love to learn more about your accounting firm.
Thanks for having me, Chris. Great to see you as always. So like Chris said, my name is Justin Macari, the founder of MacTax. Previously at PwC, founded my own company doing personal and business income taxes and accounting. And during COVID, during 2020, I branched into doing Web3 crypto taxes as well, both for personal and for business. It's a very complex area of the tax code. And if you've done your personal return, if you looked at the first page of your personal return, it's actually been the first question after your name the last 3 years is, have you done anything with digital assets? Yes or no. So I got into this. I bought Gary V's NFT project. That's actually it right there behind me. And what started as just helping people in the community, answer questions on their how to handle crypto, how to report it, has really grown into like a very big niche area for us. And it's been a great opportunity because we help people get their crypto tax reports. And even if someone's happy with their accountant, a lot of accounting firms are not dealing with crypto taxes. They either don't want to spend the time researching it, they have no clue how it works. Being someone that's invested in crypto, and worked and done income taxes now in crypto for the last 4 years, it's a great specialty area that we can focus on and help make sure our clients stay out of trouble with the IRS.
Remarkable. I love it. And you mentioned that you got into the space in 2020. And did it all start with Gary V's project with VFriends?
It really did. And I found this is really when crypto taxes really started to get quite complicated because I feel like during 2020 with the NFT craze, people started moving digital assets out of an exchange like Coinbase into like MetaMask to then buy a digital asset or engage in DeFi. So whether you're buying an NFT, engaging in some type of a DeFi protocol, or buying meme coins, you have a lot of transfers in and out of certain wallets. And that lies the issue of cost basis reporting. And if you're a business, it gets more complex because you have income and expenses that you are incurring in crypto. Whereas if you're a trader, it's mainly just, capital gains calculation. And it got kind of hairy. How do we calculate this? Do I do it in Excel? Or, how do I figure this out? And we started using, software to help in this process, which, really you can't, it's really, unless you want to spend hours upon hours, you really can't do it without a software.
Right. Yep. Well said. And it really kind of makes me think about the various trends associated with the development of Web3 technology. Over the course of time, we see different types of transactions really emerge, new problems to address. And I was wondering if you could perhaps share some insights in terms of, what are some common challenges that business clients present to you before your services? And also, if you could provide some insights in terms of what businesses should consider when getting into the Web3 space.
Yeah, well, the first thing is education to our clients or even prospective clients, is explaining to them how crypto taxes work, understanding that almost every transaction on the blockchain is a taxable event, with the exception of buying a digital asset with US dollars is just a cost basis establishment, or self transfers to and from a wallet that you own or an existing wallet or an exchange.
Yeah.
And then the other problem, which I love the term you've coined it, wallet hygiene, which is we can crunch the numbers, we can figure everything out and tell you your tax obligations, we can help you save money, but we need to know all of your public wallet addresses to get the transactions, along with linking to your exchanges, because if there's gaps or holes in the transaction history, we have to assume that this was sold or this was purchased, or maybe there's an insufficient balance here. And then with businesses, there's that additional layer of complexity where if they're receiving crypto as revenue or paying vendors in crypto, that's income and expense that needs to be figured on top of the gain or loss component when transacting or trading from one digital asset to another.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Wallet hygiene is absolutely critical. To be able to have specific wallets for specific purposes. And it's an interesting topic to think about from a tax perspective too. Typically you can view all of your tax lots across all the different wallets and create a single inventory, or maybe even have a little bit of strategy and say, you know what, I have some long-term treasury holdings in these wallets. I'm going to create a separate inventory here, low cost basis, not dispose of those. And then with these trading or market making wallets with high cost basis, maybe run FIFO just out of that separate inventory. You can only enable that with proper wallet hygiene. And as businesses scale, always be on top of wallet hygiene too. Making sure that you have thought about this quite in a methodical type of manner. So appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing.
Of
Um,
course. And if you think about it from a regular business, like if a business knows they need at least 200K a month for payroll and they can set that aside in a payroll account, some businesses choose to do that. They wouldn't choose to forget about a certain business bank account that they have. It's no different with wallets if you're operating in crypto. There's no reason you wouldn't give your accountant who's doing your bank rec only one of your two business bank accounts. You need to give them both. And so often in crypto, it's like, oh, I forgot I had this wallet. It's like, well, you need to make sure this is documented. Otherwise, you're missing holes in your transactions. You have to go back and update reporting. You have to amend tax returns. It could get very costly, whereas it's just good to set it up the right way and be, very thoughtful about how you're using one particular wallet for a particular business purpose.
Right. I love that analogy too, in terms of like setting up a bank feed integration, general ledger to a specific bank account, because you can, from my understanding, review what the balance is within QuickBooks, for example, and compare that to the balance within the bank account, and you're categorizing transactions accordingly. Same thing within Bitwave in particular, where we're connecting to the wallet, and then you see the balance within Bitwave. You want to make sure that you can properly reconcile that, and then be able to properly account for those transactions and balances within the general ledger. So a lot of similarities there. One thing that can be kind of overlooked too is the importance of having a roll forward cost basis or beginning balance as well. I'm sure that could affect your closing balance if you don't properly take into consideration those initial balances at the beginning of the year, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a business or even an individual operating or trading anything in crypto and you haven't done this work, it's only going to get harder because you have to go back in time to get the beginning balances. You can't just do 2023 if you've been operating since 2020. You have to do all the prior years to get the opening balance to get it correct.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And just at top of my own curiosity, um, you see a higher percentage of Web3 businesses file extensions than compared to perhaps other types of industries, or
That's a good question. To be honest, it's a good mix. It's a good mix of both. I think it has less to do with Web3 and it has to do with the owners and operators of these companies taking the accounting seriously
yeah.
and getting the information to their internal accountant or to their external accountant. This way we can have a set of clean books and records, whether that involves just fiat USD or it does involve crypto as well, in order to have a clean set of books to prepare the tax returns.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the nice thing about the extension too is that you can really do some due diligence associated with trying to do our best to perhaps reduce one's tax liabilities when it gets down to it.
Of
And of
course.
course, yep, close out their historical books too. So,
Yeah, of course. It's always good to be conservative ahead of extension time. Say, okay, we know we're going to owe at least, let's say, $1 million in tax for the company. And then, okay, well, there's a few areas we can look into. Maybe we can reduce this down to 900,000. And then you can still file after the fact and then get that refund or apply it to the next quarter, which is the best part of the extension. Always an extension of time to file, not time to pay. But if you overpay, you can get it back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I hear it's always, best practice to perhaps even have a nice little buffer when you make that payment initially.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's always safe harbor as well by paying in 100 or 110% of the prior year as well, depending if you're personal or business and depending on the income level, or 90% of the current year estimate. So
Incredible.
planning is everything. Planning is really how you're going to get the most value out of your software, out of your CPA, out of your set of financials. Doing tax returns and looking at numbers when the year's over is very, very little that can be done. It's all about the planning
Well, I really
prior to your
appreciate.
end.
Yeah, I really appreciate your insight. Definitely an expert in the field. And with that being said, I think it's always important to let people know what makes a really good client for MacTax.
For us, somebody who's, obviously crypto has gotten kind of a bad name. People, oh, they're on the web, they're trying to avoid taxes, they're trying to do shady things. Well, it's a public blockchain. And public meaning you could see every single transaction that's gone on. So nothing about it is hidden. A good client for us is somebody who realizes this and wants to make sure that they're filing their business or their personal tax returns correctly and including crypto as well. So somebody who, is looking for help, someone who, either they don't feel like doing their taxes or their business taxes, or they just don't know. That's a great client for us. We work with large, medium, and small businesses. We work with the business owner as well to file their personal tax return. And, we're here to assist with the crypto component and or the regular business tax return and personal tax return. So we understand how it gets implemented into your business and how we can also use the tax law and the gray areas that are available to save you money.
Excellent. Yep, really appreciate that insight there. And certainly aligned. It's great to be able to have a partnership with MacTax and yourself, Justin, as we continue to service across different vertical markets, like you said, from enterprise to mid-market to, the startup community. Last question. Lots of innovation in the space. What are you excited for? Has there anything in particular at this time that has sparked your interest?
I think for me, the most exciting thing has been, every time I speak to a new business or a new individual, there's always something new going on in crypto that I am learning about for the first time. The accounting and tax rules are generally principles that apply to all the situations. But now that crypto is becoming more legitimate, it's here to stay. It's on the SEC as a tradable ETF for Bitcoin. We're hearing that Ethereum ETFs may come soon. I think there's going to be a load of capital investments coming into crypto, and we've seen so much innovation and great technology and concepts. The whole NFT space is such a cool concept, where even a small enterprise or a medium enterprise or a large enterprise can create this NFT, this token, and it can be a ticket. It could be a pass through to a collectible asset like the Mona Lisa that sits in a vault somewhere. There's so much that's going to be unlocked that I can't even imagine. And I think it's also going to be a great way also to counter AI. We see a lot of, videos and fakes of people talking, where I think blockchain and businesses can have an opportunity to maybe create some type of a blockchain social media to verify if something is real or not, or if it's AI or not, based on if the person posted it and if it's their wallet and it's connected and it verified with their wallet address with a blue check mark.
Right.
I see there's so much opportunity in ways this can go.
Right. Yeah. I was recently at the Consensus Conference, and there were some discussions associated with the merge of AI and blockchain too. So a lot of exciting development in the near future. Justin, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining today.
Of course. Thanks, Chris. Great working with you.
Yeah, pleasure.